Dark. Murakami.
Yeah.
I was doing my audio test.
I loved it, and I wish I'd have caught it sooner because you covered a lot of Murakami. It's just you were like, I'm going to start listing books, and about halfway through, I realized I own a lot of one dude's books.
Only.
Solamente. It's exclusively Murakami, the Brandon Birdwell story. Very confusing. What? What? Yeah, that sounds better now, right? Like we got it squared away, I think.
Sounds great. A lot better than last week, which is all we can hope for.
Don't. Ever. Do you like that I have the thing on the screen behind us? So
it means nothing to me, but
it means you can check the time.
Yeah.
Without having to lean forward.
Oh, that's thoughtful.
With your gooseneck.
Oh, that's so thoughtful. The first part was.
Oh.
Thanks.
That was you. Hey guys, welcome to Cold Hands. Well,
keep going.
Cold Hands, Warm Hearts. I'm one half the duo.
Hi guys, I'm Ashley Engle. I'm the other half. Welcome to episode 138 of the Cold Hands, Warm Hearts podcast. How's everybody? We're back in person this week, and thank goodness, for it.
We got
so sorry for the audio.
It's because it was double whammy terrible. Like you had an echo that we couldn't figure out, and then I thought that I was talking into a microphone, but the whole time it was just computer microphone, and it sounded like I was 1,000 miles away, which I'm sure the listeners are fine with, because that just means you get to hear less of my gurgles and burps.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, your boiled egg eating.
I haven't had a boiled egg on air.
In years.
It's
true. Years.
I got my 2-year chip.
So expect it next time.
I've been off hard boileds for 24 months.
I had one for breakfast.
I had 4 hard boiled eggs this morning.
Okay.
But they were not hard boiled. They were
Soft.
just eggs made in a pan.
Okay.
Can I have 4 hard boiled eggs? Hold the hard boiled.
And a cigarette.
And a
wow.
God.
A martini.
I love eggs.
Yeah.
And I love cigarettes.
No.
But together cigarettes and eggs?
Wowie.
You must be yoking. Listen.
Breakfast of champions. Guys, it's still January. Was what it is. Today feels like January 138th, but that's how many episodes we've done. I don't know what is this month is not good.
About January?
It's the worst of months. Would you say?
It's in contention for sure. It's the month.
Top 2.
It's hopeless. There's nothing going.
I mean, well, which is funny because at the beginning of the year, I remember saying, I love the start of a new year.
Yeah, well.
It's spread out before you, rolled out like a carpet. But new intentions, fresh energy. Let's go.
But the start of a new year.
Not now.
The start of a new year is still very much tied in with the season.
Yeah.
So I think once you get into the doldrums, the January doldrums, that's when you're just like, man, how many days until Crimbus? How many days? I can't even order a pumpkin spice without getting looked at sideways. No.
Can I tell you that my Christmas tree's still up? Can I tell you that?
You can. I love it. I think it's great.
It's unhinged.
I heard this,
is what it is.
I heard this proposed by one of the greatest podcasters ever. His name's Chris Ryan, and I love him.
Okay. Hi, Chris. Sponsor us.
Please, because if you did, I would know you, and you could put this stupid podcast on your podcast network, and then maybe it would
do something.
Ruin your podcast network. But so here was his proposition.
Yeah.
Christmas.
Okay.
That's it. No, Christmas, and then you get through Christmas, the season, say through New Year's, then you turn the tree off.
Okay.
But you leave the tree up.
Right.
Fully decorated, mind you.
No lights on.
No lights on, but the tree's there.
Okay.
Like winking at you. Like, hey. And then like 3 weeks in to the new year, you flip that baby back on and you have a Christmas party. You have a second Christmas at the tail end of January to at least be like, we still want to be doing this. And then it's second Christmas, you do like a meal, you do the whole thing. And then that's how you make January
better,
like palatable.
I kind of like that idea.
Isn't that great? I'm super here for it.
Because, I think actually, when you said that, I think February might be the worst month.
Well,
because what's happening in February?
You have Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
You have you have the Super Bowl for people who celebrate.
Sometimes. Is it always in February? Sometimes I feel like it's in January. Is that not true? You have Groundhog Day.
You do, and that's why February feels like it lasts forever. I think it's always in February.
I don't know.
Is that right?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Mm-hmm.
I just started watching football when Taylor started showing up.
Right. And we'll get into it.
Are we gonna?
Yeah. It's on the agenda.
A lot of controversy.
No. Okay, hold on to that controversy. The Ashley Engle story. Okay, guys, there's still a lot happening in D.C. We want to acknowledge that. There's a lot of changes. And regardless of how you feel about that, I hope everyone is taking care of themselves in this time. Because I'll tell you what social media is right now. It is an overwhelming dumpster fire, brain drain, everything bad all at once fire hose of misery.
Good.
And that's social media. And so if you find yourself doom scrolling, I'm going to tell you, you can opt out of social media right now.
But then I'm not going to know what's happening.
But there are ways to responsibly find out what's happening in the world.
How am I going to know the new dance to do in the cafetorium? How am I going to know?
Okay.
What? No. Hey.
You're not on the tickies.
Am the tickies. I'm a tiki talk boy. And
No.
I also, I'm over here doing the renegade, listening to Old Tyne Road and having a Snapple.
Wow.
Listen, Ruby Red Grape. Here's Snapple Boy in the corner trying to remember the steps. Can't. He's a grapevine at best. This guy's a box stepper, but he can't. But he's trying to do like the wrist rolls.
That's where my brain shut off in terms of like recognized dance moves. The grapevine.
Yeah, well,
that's where I stopped. I peaked.
Here's the thing about a grapevine. Mm-hmm. Never goes out of style.
It's true. Go to any wedding reception.
Because it never was in. But here's the other thing about a grapevine that I love is it's versatile because it goes, if you can go left to right with a grapevine, if you're thinking in 2 dimensions, you're grapevining. But if you can go backwards and forwards, you're electric sliding, baby. Yeah. Once you can do the kick, and once you do the kick, it just feels good to be a part of something bigger than yourself. I'm out on the dance floor, boot scooting boogie all the way to Chattahoochee. Here he is, Cupid shuffling at a wedding full of people. I forgot to get my vest tailored so it's too tight. I'm busting out of it like a sausage, which, by the way,
sleeves rolled up, tie around the head,
shirt unbuttoned to my navel, Cossack dancing and just sweating on strangers. What's funny is, you know how art imitates life.
Yeah.
I just described 2 of my different friends at the same wedding. I won't say their names.
Okay, sponsor us, guys.
But we were sitting at the meal, and one of the friends was wearing his vest and just leans over to me. He's like, "Hey, man, I didn't have time to go to the place ahead of time at the Men's Warehouse, so I gassed." And when I tell you that his buttons were the hardest working men in show business that day. I joke not, because he's sitting there, eventually had to unbutton it. So then we get to the reception. My other friend, who's just had a child, he didn't, his wife had, but together. It was a team effort. And she and him, she and he and her, them have not been out since new baby.
Right.
And so they're ready to get loose. And I look away 1 minute and I look back and he is literally unbuttoned to the navel, full blown Cossack dancing. And I try to find her in the crowd to think, how embarrassed is she right now? And she was into it. She was like, that's my man right there.
She was wearing his tie around her head.
Dude, tie around her head, Cossack in the corner. I got my buddy in the corner, just unbuttoned vest, just finally getting a breath. I'm over here grapevining.
Yeah.
The cha-cha real smooth.
I love a wedding reception,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
but only after the dancing starts.
Oh, but you got to start it.
Because sometimes you do.
There's not always someone who's going to be the starter pistol for the party.
I'll tell you what, though, when it's a forced start, there's some resentment. I was in my friend Becky's wedding. Hi, Becky. I was a bridesmaid.
What I love is that you have friends who you don't have to not say their name because she didn't do anything embarrassing on this day.
No.
I couldn't say my friends' names to protect them.
Right.
You,
No.
on the other hand.
Becky was the bride. She was shining glory. But I was a bridesmaid, and I didn't know this was coming. But the DJ was like, it's time to get the dancing started. Bow, 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 bow. And then he plays the Black Eyed Peas, Let's Get It Started. So I'm like, reluctantly, I put down my cake fork, and I stand up, fully expecting to meet my fellow bridesmaids on the dance floor. Show up there. No one's there but me.
No.
No one's there but me. Let's Get It Started is playing. What am I to do?
Dancing like Elaine on Seinfeld, doing the little kicks.
Shut up. That would have been better.
It would have started the party.
It would have started the party. And then there was like a trickle of people, but I did not appreciate that surprise.
By the time
It was a great wedding, by the way.
you gotta time it, because if you're the starter, if the people don't come out quickly enough, it's embarrassing.
And if you don't go for it full throttle, and I did not. I did not.
See, that's the thing. You have to.
I know.
You
and
have
I
to.
regret it every day of my life.
I wake up screaming. I wake up in a
wouldn't give
cold sweat
to go back
once a week. Yeah,
20 years.
If some character showed up,
Yeah.
and said, "Hey, you could go back any time in history and change one event." Oh, I've got it. I know exactly where we're going.
And the interviewer for the job I'm applying for says, no, actually, we meant like national
No,
history.
like major events that could
Like world
could
history.
impact like the fabric of time and make the world a better place. You're like, oh, no, same answer. Same answer. I feel like, honestly, excuse me, Mr. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to mansplain to you, Mr. Interviewer, but can you know when you throw a rock in a pond? The ripples of that dance.
Let's get it started.
The ripples of me dancing alone to Let's Get It Started, wishing I hadn't set down my cake fork. The whole political landscape could be different right now.
Social media wouldn't even be a thing. It would have brought humanity together.
Anxiety would be at an all-time low. The earth would be the same temperature. All is well. It's 2025 and all is well because Ashley kept her cake fork. There's a title.
That's a good one. Listen, I'll tell you how you get the party started is what you and Lindsay had us do. And I did appreciate the heads up on this.
What had happened?
So we walk into your reception, which again was lovely. You had a lovely wedding.
Yeah.
Lovely reception. Great dancing.
Thank you. Finally, someone said it. I had so much to do with the planning and the organization.
Yes, and the finances.
It's here comes 24-year-old Brandon,
Yeah.
Daddy Warbucks.
Dancing in.
Yeah. You know what we're doing if I'm in charge?
Waltzing in on Daddy's dollar.
We're driving through the barn in Stillwater for a box of wine.
Drive through wedding.
We're heading to the nearest open air free space. We're going to Strickland Park where they've got vert ramps. We're going to watch the local street toughs do ollies and kickflips while we slap the bag, while we sip on a Boda. Here we go.
Drive through nuptials.
Best of luck.
It's a home run.
Best of luck, Brandon and Lindsay.
Poor Lindsay. But no, you told all of us to come up with an entrance because they played a fun song. I don't know what it was. And each pair, groomsmen and bridesmaids danced on in. And I'm pretty sure I was paired with my husband, no?
That's
Because
right.
we were both in it.
That would have been a weird move for me to be like, no.
I know, but height-wise, I was by far the tallest bridesmaid in your wedding. Giraffe status.
I mean,
And I didn't even wear high heels.
giraffe status. You
So
are
I
the
think I might have
tallest.
been paired with the tallest boy, which is not my husband.
You are the tallest bridesmaid
At all
any
weddings.
wedding,
Right.
really.
And if I wear heels, look, whoa, baby.
Yeah, but here's
Do you
the
know
thing.
what I mean?
Here's the good. Okay,
It's fine.
Attacked by a skeleton.
Knocking things off shelves.
Here's the thing. You were standing directly adjacent, Becky, at her wedding. Yes.
Yeah, I was not.
And so, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, this is a wedding.
Becky's tall.
But that's what I'm saying. This is a wedding that's like primo for you
Right.
and primo for Becky.
Right.
I don't know if she picked you because you were her closest friends.
I've been in a lot of tall weddings.
Or if this was a height,
Not because we're friends.
I get
For the aesthetic.
I get calls from WNBA gals all the time.
Yeah.
I'm set dressing for a WNBA wedding.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
would
I
be
am.
short in a WNBA wedding. I'd be the shortest one,
It's true.
even in heels.
Well,
Anyway, guys, weddings. Am I right?
okay.
Am I right?
The only reason I planned that dance move entrance thing was so that I knew that you had some like regrets.
Company.
You had some
Oh.
regrets around Becky's wedding.
Sure.
And you were trying to make it up. Made it worse.
Made it worse.
Your moves were worse.
I don't even remember what I did. But that was fun. Okay, how's it going? You've got a show coming up.
I do.
I hear you've been prepping, rehearsing with the fellas.
We rehearsed. It's fun because so the gents that are so gracious to play with me are all so good.
They're so
that
good.
like most bands rehearse lots and lots and lots.
Yeah.
We don't, because everyone's old and has other stuff going.
Well, and that's
But-
not your style.
But it's a little
You like to
loosey-goosey.
be
And I
loose.
kind of like that. And they just show up, we run the set, and we're good. And then we go on.
Because you know what you're doing, you're leaving room for the Holy Spirit.
That's
move.
what we're doing. And we have a sax. One of our horn guys he couldn't even make it yesterday. I was like, I don't care.
I trust you.
Just know what key it's in, and he's gonna be the best person up there.
Yeah.
It's great. So yeah, so we rehearsed yesterday. We play Thursday.
Nice, guys. So if you are local and would like to attend, it's at ACM at UCO. We'll be with dear friend JB, and you can purchase tickets at the link in your bio.
It's still not there.
I've announced it
It's on
four times.
It's on my story today. But this
Okay,
will be
because those last forever.
24 hours, which
This
feels like
comes out
forever.
in 24 hours.
Well, whatever. Listen.
Repost.
That, and then I have a song coming out on Friday.
Yeah.
And
What's it called?
it's colder outside than I'd like.
Same.
Yeah, there you go. So there's that.
Hashtag
and then,
Reynauds.
And then that, and then just being a person, trying to be a person, failing miserably. I couldn't record yesterday. And I told you, I was like,
We were scheduled to record yesterday,
like,
and you
my-
said, I need to shut down for the day.
my brain is finished, and it was, and I appreciate recording today because
Oh, that's nice.
I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I needed to
okay.
be finished.
Basically, what you were saying is, I can't bring myself to talk with you because that's all we do here.
I didn't say that.
But I knew what you meant. Our week was pretty low key because Hopi was sick all last week, which is part of the reason we recorded remotely. I didn't leave the house a whole lot, but it was a preaching week, so I was working.
God, I love that. That sounds so great to not leave the house.
I get sad
Do you really?
after I would say my threshold is 2 days, and then I'm like, okay, I need to be with people. I need it.
Here's the I don't know if you know this. Here's the secret. Do you want to know the secret?
I probably already know, but go ahead.
Oh, go ahead then. You tell me what the secret is.
Just not care.
That's part of it. I think that's like tangentially related to what I'm about to say.
Adjacent.
Yeah. So I think I could stay in the house a good 2 weeks without leaving. As long as I don't shower.
Oh.
The minute I shower, I'm
That's worse than I thought it was going to be. Although I'm not surprised.
well, here's the thing. It sounded worse when I said it than it felt in my heart.
Is it because you have a barrier for yourself? The minute you think, oh, I'd love to go out and get some food, or I need to do this errand or whatever. And then you're like, well, haven't showered in 7 days. Can't.
Maybe.
Do you know what I mean?
I also think that
Like, oops, can't get out. Even though it would take you less than 5 minutes to shower.
Well, when you put yourself in the grossest headspace,
Okay.
you're just like, this is where I belong.
I've melded with my home now.
Right. And I'm a part of this now. And to remove me from it, I might be load bearing. This thing might collapse on itself if I leave. I'm like a structural beam at this point. I am such a fixture in this house that if I leave, I don't know what I'm coming back to.
Right.
Smoldering ash.
Right.
Oh, an empty lot.
Right.
All my things gone. Poof.
Right.
And so really I have a responsibility to this compound, to this structure.
And that's public relations. That's welcome to the spin zone.
So what I'm saying, guys, is don't shower, stay home. Happy 2025.
Be mentally healthy.
Yeah. Sit in filth. Squalor. Welcome.
Listen. Yeah. Well, I shared with you earlier that everyone is sick. This is another reason why January is the worst month. I feel like everybody comes back after the holidays and they've been traveling and they're just bringing germs from other places. And
Sure.
it's a big petri dish and we just come out of it with flu A. I got a text from two friends today whose children have flu A. Mine could have it because Asher's home from school today. Hope was out all last week. It's much milder than a typical flu, but we got that. We got the norovirus.
I read that Teddy had the norovirus recently. I heard or read somewhere that Oklahoma is nationwide the most flu. It's the heaviest flu, like the most cases of the flu, I guess, by population in the country.
Like always, or just right now?
No, like currently.
Why?
I don't know.
That's another thing that makes us great.
We're doing it. Here's the thing about us. Land Run did it. Flu. You're welcome for Garth Brooks and Chris Gaines.
Yes.
Guys, just you're welcome.
Right.
The heartland.
We do. Nobody does sunsets like we do, though, and that's facts.
Nobody does sunsets or public schooling like we do.
Like we do
currently. Shout out.
Dun 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 dun. Oh, Oklahoma, everyone.
Achoo.
It's flu.
Dude, what?
PU.
You know, I think often
Oklahoma's great.
about the who's calling their gal a honey lamb?
Jeff does.
My honey lamb and I?
No, he doesn't.
The original lyric was every night my honey ham and I. And I relate to that one so much more because I like to sit alone and watch a hawk making lazy circles in the sky while snacking on a spiral cut. Here he is, just Brandon sitting on the porch with a honey ham and I.
It's so much better. So much better.
I feel like if we're being real, myself included, the vast majority of Oklahomans can relate to that lyric a lot better than honey lamb.
Yeah.
I don't need anyone. I just need my pork snacks. Replace hawk with a tornado coming in, and I'm sitting on the porch with a honey ham just chasing, watching an F5. Here it goes.
Coincidentally, we're also tops in obesity.
Yeah, we're crushing it. And that's
heart
the beauty.
disease.
Dude, a honey lamb wouldn't look my way. I'll tell you who would, though. There's a honey ham.
That is so funny to me. Okay, well.
Here I am, honey ham and I, reinforced lawn chair.
Porch swings, double chains,
Listening to jug band music.
watching a beautiful sunset.
Beautiful sunset. Just while there's a reason the hawk's making lazy circles. It's because he got into the honey ham.
Okay. All right. Well, when Hope started feeling better last week, because she genuinely was out of school every day of the last week. But on Friday, she started feeling better, turned a corner, and we went thrifting. You know, I love to thrift. I love popping tags.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
So does Hope. She's my good thrifting buddy. And I've discovered there is a law of thrifting, the first law of thrifting.
Okay.
If you allow yourself a big block of time to thrift, you're not going to find a darn thing. Not a one.
It needs to be a quick thrift?
You need a quick thrift. You need to run in and go, we got 10 minutes. Look around. And then you're going to come out with an armful of goodies. And that's what we did.
I feel like the first rule of thrifting is wash it once you get
Absolutely.
it. So let's not jump over that one.
Okay, that's law one. Law two.
Law
quick
two.
Thrift.
Law two. See law one. Law three. Quick thrift.
Remember for your 40th birthday when we went to Goodwill and did the whole thing where we picked out outfits for each other and Jeff got the poncho and it made him have an allergic reaction?
Yeah, because he did not obey rule 1 or 2.
He allowed too much time in there. Because you know what you're going to find in there is pet dander.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Secondhand smoke.
He got the thrift sniffles. It's a real thing. Look it up. I'm sorry, Doc. I need something for my thrift sniffles. Jeff, I told you. Wash your ponchos, bud. Like I don't know what else I can tell you as a medical professional. If you pick up a poncho at the thrift store,
you're going to get it.
Pop it in the wash.
Yeah. Okay. I told you how we've started back up with indoor soccer. Hope was sick, so she couldn't go to the game this weekend. But do you know outrage coming from this gal?
Okay.
I want you to guess what time Hope's game was on Saturday. Just guess.
Oh gosh, this could go either way. This could go too early. This could go too late. I'm gonna guess because I feel like you would be angrier about late. I'm gonna say 9:15 in the evening.
You're not even ready. This game was at 7 a.m.
Oh, that's awesome.
No.
Oh, okay.
I heard that there are so many teams in this cycle of indoor.
How many are there?
Okay, so many that they run games from 7 a.m. to, are you ready? 10:40 p.m.
That's a bigger problem to me than the 7 a.m.
I don't know which is worse.
I'll show up for the 7, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to play some soccer. Mm-hmm. And then once I'm done with soccer, the day's mine, baby. I love an early start.
I'm going to breeze through the Goodwill.
I love an early start. Give me the earliest flight. Give me the earliest flight you got, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm getting on that, y'all, and I'm taking a nap, and it's gonna be. And by the time I get to Akron, I'm waking up ready to rock.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought Akron. I'm actually going to Cleveland next month, and that's probably why my brain went there.
Are you really?
Yeah. Well, I
Are
thought.
you being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yep, they don't know it yet.
Just gonna show up.
I'm a write-in vote by myself. No, I thought, I was thinking January's long. January's cold. So where am I going to go?
Colder place.
Where should I go to feel good about life? Cleveland in February.
Yeah.
I'm not even meeting anybody. I'm just going to hang out by myself in Cleveland. That's not true. I'm going to see my buddy Jesse. He just moved there.
Oh.
It's going to be fun. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
It'll be chilly. Take your coat. Take your warmers.
I feel like if a coat's meant for me, Cleveland will provide.
Okay.
And that's what I think about Cleveland. Anyways, but no, early flight, early game. Oh man, I used to love a baseball when we had baseball tournaments, and you got to the like Saturday games or the Sunday game, and it's like they had a nice bright early start. Man, I love the early game.
Boo.
Listen, that Pizza Hut buffet's not going to eat itself. I got to finish this game.
And then wait around for 3 hours till Pizza Hut opens for lunch.
But I'm ready out the front. I'm standing in the vestibule. I'm standing in the breezeway.
Right.
Because they won't let me all the way in the restaurant.
No.
Face pressed up against the glass, huffing steam onto the thing, just pining for a pizza, and the distinct smell of like all glass breezeway because they mop it and then hot box the mop water and it smells like stinky socks, but I don't care because I'm here. Yeah. And then the minute they open that door, I'm at the buffet boxing out the locals. Sharp elbows, Brandon, at a buffet.
Face pressed up against the sneeze guard.
Sneeze guard, because it's there for a reason.
Listen, I hate an early game. 10 a.m. is optimal. It's optimal. Because then, by the time it's over, lunch.
Yeah.
Pizza Hut, here we come.
Yeah, and guess what? Guess who's already cleared it out? Your boy!
Because it's not open yet.
Yeah, because I was there at first light. I'll tell you this right now. A closed mouth, it don't get fed, baby. You show up early to the buffet. Call me Phoebe, because I'm at the buffet.
Oh, man. So this weekend was Dave's birthday, Jeff's father's birthday. So we went up to Stillwater. You know what we do for...
How old is Dave? 30? Can't be a day over 30.
He's 31. Close. But for Dave's birthday, a thing that we do is get crab legs.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Jeff went to Uptown and got some snow crab legs. And we had us a feast. And man, it was good. You don't have to work as hard for any other food than you do crab legs.
Coconut?
Maybe. Not if you've got a machete.
Which I do. I keep one. I keep that thing on me.
Holstered.
God, if I could go back in time to any moment, it would be to before you got here, and I would have hidden a machete on my hip so that I could wield it for the bit. So I could wield a machete for an all audio podcast.
To scare you.
Yeah, well, let's do the food you got to work the hardest for. Crab legs, for sure.
Crab legs.
Lobster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Any crustacean, really.
Lobster's not, though, because they got it open for you.
Depends where you're going.
Well, I'm only going to places that have it open for
Yeah,
me.
shell your own lobster.
Scrimps.
Scrimps if you got to peel them.
Which I do not enjoy.
Oysters if you got to shuck them.
Yeah.
Really, Poseidon is kind of a lazy,
Stingy.
is a lazy chef. Take it, but you open it.
Also, season it yourself.
Walnut. Mm-hmm. You know, I'll tell you what. A pistachio. It's not hard work, but it's repetitive, arduous work.
Right. You might chip a tooth.
You can. I have. I'm a pistachio casualty.
Band name.
Totally.
It's a good one. Well, good. It rolls off the tongue.
I love a snow crab leg, though. I love that you guys do a crab. Is this a Dave choice, or did you guys just decide on Dave's behalf that it was a crab leg thing?
Years ago, I think we decided on Dave's behalf, but it's become a tradition.
I love it.
Me too.
Yeah, it's great.
It was great.
I attended a seafood boil this week.
Ooh.
And I'm used to being the one who boils.
Yeah.
I didn't.
How was that?
I was merely an attendee. It was excellent.
How can it not be great?
It was excellent. It was at Cardinal Song Studio with
nice.
Michael Trepanier, very gracious host. Had a bunch of people gather, and we boiled.
What a fun thing.
It was great. He one of his visions for that space has always been like
Community.
And like he's done a thing before where it was like all local musicians potluck. So people show up, bring whatever you can, and then everyone has a meal and then gets to know each other, which is great.
That's nice.
And this one was just kind of a gathering of just like friends and family and stuff. It was really fun.
Man, guys, we need community right now more than ever. We really do. And so this is something I like to hear.
Sure. No, it was great. It was wonderful.
I love that.
So just piling on to your seafood situation, we had a very seafoody week.
Yeah. I wanted to, let's see, what do we do? I can see the time now.
Can you really not? Oh, you can.
I can.
Yeah.
Ew.
Okay, first off.
Throat gurgles.
Yeah, well.
While we were in Stillwater, we watched some of the Cowgirl basketball game, OSU Cowgirl basketball game against Texas Tech, and it was fun. Listen, energizing. They got some great players. The coach.
How was the crowd? Were you present in the thing,
No.
or did you watch it on TV?
And it was at Tech. Crowd wasn't great, but Deb and Dave were telling us that the crowd sizes have been increasing.
Okay, and
in Gallagher Arena.
And here's why I ask.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if you've been following it, but as an avid WNBA fan,
Okay, no, I don't follow it, but maybe I should.
I'm not an avid WNBA fan, but Instagram has decided that I am.
Okay.
And so I get a lot of it. And it's probably because I linger on the posts and watch the clips because the players are great.
It's exciting.
Ever since, and it's debated whether it's whatever, blah, 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 because obviously they're standing on the shoulders of the people that came before them and built the league, so on and so forth. But this new class that came in, specifically Caitlin Clark from Iowa, attendance across the board at WNBA games is like crazy year over year.
I love that.
They sold out almost, I think, every game, the Indiana Fever where she plays.
Wow.
Literal sellouts.
Wow.
Crazy. So I was curious if that sort of enthusiasm for WNBA has filtered through to collegiate women's basketball, which rightfully so. I mean, they're incredible athletes and whatever. It's just, it takes getting the momentum or whatever. So I was curious if that, but it sounds like there's higher attendance than historical. So that's great.
I'm told that attendance is way down for the men as well, which is so okay. Which made me remember.
It's crazy if you take what it was like when we were in school,
right? So, guys, I don't know if we've shared this before, but our dad, Harry B, was athletic director at O State for a time in the early 2000s,
in the aughts,
and it was kind of a golden age of basketball.
We kind of caught a nice wave.
We did. The memories from that time period, watching OSU men's basketball, some of my favorite times.
Pretty great.
Ever.
And I've thought about this. I've thought about this too.
Those teams were great.
Because I think you would be hard pressed to find someone who knows anything about collegiate athletics that would argue the fact that football is kind of king.
Yeah.
In any athletic department, football is the primary focus. It generates the most money. It's the most prevalent.
Schools.
Well, just across the board. Like if you want the highest revenue generating sport, it's going to be football.
Sure.
Now, when we were in college, our football teams, they made bowl games and were good.
Yeah.
But we were on the early end of like building the program to what it became.
Right.
And years after we left school, our football program became a powerhouse and was great.
Yeah.
And I've thought back to being like, if I could swap it when I was in college and have football be the best, but basketball suffer a little bit, would I do it? And I wouldn't, because I feel like basketball was so much more fun. The energy was crazy.
Energy was crazy.
And it's like closer, like you're in it. You feel like you're a part of it.
You can see the players.
Yeah.
Like you're with them.
Yeah. And I wouldn't change that, even though football is more like probably more prestigious. Something about the basketball while we were there, I was just like super here for it.
So fun.
And there was a time when I lived in the worst apartment. We've talked about it. But it was one block from the basketball arena. And so to be able to walk to the game and then walk back, like very fond memories of that time period. Super fun.
So fun. Well, and Eddie Sutton was the coach, and we loved Eddie.
Legend.
And the Gallagher-Iba Arena was so much smaller.
Yeah.
And so there was a limited number of tickets, sell out every game.
But then, no, it wasn't small. When they were great, when we were in college, they had already done the expansion on it. It just felt small because of the way that the arena is set up. When we were kids, it was tiny, but it was bigger.
I guess that's right.
But it wasn't bigger out. It was bigger up. And so still, if you were on like one of the lower levels, you still feel like you're right on top of the thing.
Because it was narrow.
It almost kind of feels like, from like the steepness of the stairs. Now, I'm not an architect, but it feels like it's not to code.
Dangerous.
It feels dangerous. It feels like someone was asleep at the T-square.
Somebody could take a tumble.
Someone was like, you know what? Your grandfathered in.
Build it up.
Watch your step. Go Pokes, watch your step.
Listen. But I remember students would camp out for days to get those tickets.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so fun. And we were so privileged because Dad was in that position for part of that time. And so we got to go to the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City. We got to go to the Final Four.
Yeah.
And then speaking of football, we got to go to some bowl games.
Yeah.
And here's my favorite bowl game memory.
I got to meet Tim Robbins.
You got to meet Tim Robbins at the Final Four.
Yeah.
And I ran and hid. You saw him. We've talked about this. This is our approach to famous people. Famous people show up. I run and hide. You run towards and get a photo.
And I quote their most famous movie line at them.
Right.
I said, "You get busy living or get busy dying, Tim Robbins."
Yeah.
And he said, "Go anywhere else."
First, can I get a picture?
Will you leave if I do this?
And then he did. And then he did.
Yeah.
But we just and Jeff and I were married when you lived in that bad apartment. We were newly married.
That bad apartment.
And lived in Oklahoma City. But we would work a full work day and then drive all the way back to Stillwater. We would have some late nights and then I'd get up.
And I would say, "Come on, I've got plenty of room.
No.
Come stay."
No.
In the Roach Motel.
No. We didn't.
You can shower and sit on the toilet at the same time. Mm-hmm. That's the size of this bathroom.
We didn't do that, but gosh, memories. Anyway, I'm happy to see that they're gaining traction there with the women's sports. Yeah, it was another preaching weekend.
Watch your mouth. Our women's equestrian team has been crushing it for years. Mm-hmm. Did you know?
Right. I didn't, but wow. There were rumblings. Okay.
Well, I'm just saying,
Sponsors.
we just don't short sell our national championship equestrian team.
Right. And I do know that during that time, they were quite successful.
I'm just saying.
I know. Yeah. So anyway, preaching week. So I was at home working a lot of the week. Hope was sick. Did you watch any of the NFL this weekend?
I love the way you asked that.
Did you watch any of it?
I didn't. I was at a seafood boil. Mm-hmm. Which I would do. I would rather do that than
watch the NFL.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about me. I'm like, I'll watch the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm, sure.
But like, I don't know what's happened. Over like when I was younger, I would have cared a lot more to watch it.
You would have popped on that starter jacket and been right there.
Yeah. Anymore, it's like if I catch it, I'm like, oh, cool, and I'll watch it. But I never actively seek it out.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what has happened to me.
Even though you play the fantasy football.
I mean, I win.
Yeah,
I didn't really play it.
You won.
It kind of played me.
Yeah.
I was a conduit. The football flowed through me. Mm-hmm. And you know what came out the other end? Victory.
I was nervous there for a minute. I was real nervous there for a minute.
Yeah, mixing metaphors, I feel like.
It's dangerous. It's a dangerous business. We watched the Bills and the Chiefs because Ash is a huge Bills fan.
How did he feel? Did he feel like there were some calls that went Kansas City's way that he was not pleased with?
He was just not pleased with the defense.
There's I've read and seen that the play calling was suspect by the Bills, and the last several games there's a whole conspiracy around how the NFL is rigged and how the Kansas City Chiefs get a lot of calls and Patrick Mahomes gets a lot of calls because they're like America's team, and they generate higher ratings, and
Taylor
Swift, which. Listen, we're stretching here, but I love a conspiracy theory. True or not?
Yes, you do.
I love to engage with one.
Yes, you do.
Like, love it.
Well, yeah, there was much wailing and gnashing of teeth after that game. He was sad about it, and we all watched it together as a family. But, Taylor and Travis are back out here. I feel like they've been laying low. Not anymore. Get ready for Taylor and Travis bonanza leading up to the Super Bowl and at the Super Bowl.
Sure.
No matter what happens. Also, Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, you don't want me to start there.
I don't know, Mr. Lamar.
I've been...
And I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
So a few things.
Okay.
One, I hope Asher understands what he has signed up for. A Buffalo Bills fan is going to always be disappointed.
Yep. Jeff had the whole talk with them.
No matter if they're good, they're a great team
this
season. But they're never going to get it all the way done.
Jeff had this conversation with him.
Do you know why? Because they're the Buffalo Bills. Right. And the Buffalo Bills of the 90s, you know who they kept running into every single year? America's team, the Dallas Cowboys in the Super Bowl. They could never get over the hump.
Yep.
Now America's team is the Chiefs.
Yep.
And they're going to have to go through the Chiefs every time they want to get to the Super Bowl. And you know what they're going to do? they're going to lose to the Chiefs.
They're
So I
going to
hope
put
Asher
the
understands.
lotion in the basket.
So here's the thing. I hope he knows what he signed up for, but I also have tremendous respect for the fact that he was willing to sign up for it.
Yeah.
Because he didn't jump on the Chiefs bandwagon.
No, he did not.
He
Not
jumped-
even when we were there in person.
He said, there's 2 ships in the distance. Which one am I climbing aboard?
Yeah.
The sound one? The seaworthy one?
Yeah.
Or the one that looks like a Swiss cheese?
The one captained by a one Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, the one, the iceberg destined one. The one. Do I go to the one that has historical holes all throughout it?
Generations.
Generational. The one. Do I all aboard the SS Generational Trauma? Here they go. Just picking up the bills. So Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
I think, personally,
Okay.
as a fan of the hip hop music and hip hop history,
Yep.
I love Kendrick Lamar and have for many, many years. I think he is a once in a generation talent as a rapper. He is incredible. He's so calculated. He is truly the best rapper alive currently. He's unreal. He has been in this beef with Drake, which there's not enough hours for us to have this conversation. I live in this rabbit hole.
And see, I don't know enough about him to contribute, so I'm just going to listen.
Well, here's the thing. He and Drake went back and forth. Drake is a big baby. I've never liked Drake.
Okay.
So of course I love Kendrick Lamar. So I'm siding with him. And he knows. He's pleased.
Yeah.
With me.
Yeah.
But he came out with a song that was a diss track called Not Like Us. Now,
Okay, I knew
the
about this.
content of it is probably not suited for our podcast.
It's naughty.
So you're going to have to find it. But Drake got real huffy, took his ball and went home. He's very sad. He's a very sad guy. And he decided, even though he engaged in the beef, he is suing the record label.
That's dramatic.
He's a sad guy and he's suing the record label and he's trying to discourage Kendrick Lamar from, and there's a lot more to it than this, but inevitably I think he's trying to scare Kendrick Lamar from performing that song at the Super Bowl because a lot of people view it as if he plays it on that stage, it's like the end for Drake. And so he's trying to intimidate him, intimidate the NFL. So the biggest thing for me is I don't care about Travis and Taylor. I don't care about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I want to see if Kendrick does the song or not. High stakes.
That's good context because
It's literally the Super Bowl of hip hop beefs
yeah.
of what's going on.
What if it's all a big publicity stunt? Who cares?
It's not. Drake would do a publicity stunt like that. Kendrick is not that kind of
Because
guy.
I know him.
I've known
besties.
I've known Kendrick through his art for a very long time.
Right.
He was at the seafood boil.
He's part of my community.
Just me and Kendrick Lamar. You gonna do it at the Super Bowl, bud? I can't say it on air, but he's gonna.
That's really good context.
Yeah, well,
We'll follow up with that.
you're welcome.
Have you cooked or eaten anything good lately?
Seafood boil.
You
Yes.
didn't cook that.
No, I didn't, but eaten was an
eaten.
option.
Got it. Sorry.
Yeah, I made I've been obviously I make the shrimps.
You sent me
I make
another
the
photo
shrimp
of your
scampi.
pasta.
I make the pasta. We did. I can't take credit for this. Lindsay just gave me the directions, and I made it. We made a chuck roast yesterday with like a tomato sauce. It was great. All day slow cooker. Made the house smell of rich meats. I got told, hey, can you make pad thai? And I made pad thai the other night. I liked it.
With homemade noodles?
The other person who lives in this house who eats things that aren't grilled cheese sandwiches tried to act like it was okay, but did not care for it. I know this to be true, even though
She says otherwise. Okay.
just saying. So
Okay.
those are what the items
Got it.
that I have made.
Jeff made some great burgers to eat during the game the other night. I have been inspired to do an at-home pho.
I love pho.
It's so good. Do you know, Heather told me, hi Heather,
Hey,
that,
Heather.
that you can purchase and I know you're going to disagree with this, but for people who are on the go, who don't have time to do a homemade broth,
On the go.
you can,
Don't have time? Get yourself some on the go pho.
you can purchase the pre-made broth and then just add all your own goodies, your
Yeah, sure.
protein and your veg and whatever.
Now hold on a
What?
second.
What?
I'm not such a like broth.
You're the Martha Stewart of broths.
That's what they've been saying about me for years.
You're a broth broad.
I'm a broth bro. No, here's the thing. I have always wanted to be a broth guy, but only within the last maybe year have I been brothing like on the reg.
Yeah.
And now that I do, I know how, and I love the taste. I love the process. I love all the things.
It just takes a long time.
Right. But I also get that it's like, for me, it's like, it's not like a weeknight brothing. Like if I need like a full Saturday to broth, because it's literally sitting in a pot for hours.
Right.
So I get it. I'm not opposed to
Broth
a pre-made.
snob.
Dude, hilarious. Broth snob's a really funny name for like a little restaurant.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Dude, I would go to Broth Snob
Me too.
and I would broth so hard.
Yeah.
Oh,
Also me. Welcome to Mocktail Corner. We're very much still enjoying Damp Jan. Maybe another reason January is a terrible month. But I wanted to recommend another one that we got at Sprouts. Avec is the name of the company. It's
With.
French. Hey, look at you. It means with the yuzu and lime. It's in a can.
okay.
It's nice. It's a complex flavor. I added a salted rim and some fresh lime to it. It was nice. It was a nice sipper.
I stick with my little saints. One of those in the evening. Maybe some hop waters. Maybe like some fizzy waters. Can I tell you something? I at the seafood boil.
Yeah.
I went and I didn't have time to make anything for it or whatever, but I didn't want to show up empty-handed and be the guest who didn't bring anything. So I went to the nearest store, the wine shop liquor store, and I purchased a bottle of, which I had never had but wanted to try, the McConaughey's tequila.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Pantalones.
Panelones, yeah.
And so I brought that as a gift. They were very grateful for it. I had a couple glasses of that. My body did not enjoy that the next day.
Really?
Because I've been on my little saints.
Damp Jan.
I've been on my little saints, and you put me in some
Panelones.
organic panelones, and my head was like, "Hey, man,
Yeah.
back to the mushroom mocktails with you, sir."
Yeah.
So anyway,
Wow, it's been a cleanse.
that's an update.
Update. How is your algorithm? WNBA.
A lot of that, a lot of WNBA, a lot of dogs. But dogs are back in a big way
Same.
in 2025. A lot
Dogs saying I love you.
of, a lot of like Super Bowl content, and then also not to go back to the same topic, a lot of Kendrick Lamar comment, a lot of content, a lot of that. So I'm in it. I'm in the algo.
Yeah. The only thing I do on social media right now is I go to my DMs and I see things that are funny and then I send them to other people. And that's about all I can do right now. Because again, social media is a dark and dangerous place.
Sure.
It's twisty. It'll get you, it'll suck you into doom scrolling and ruin your day.
Sure.
So guys, be careful. You can opt out. You can opt out and still get the news you need. But take care of yourselves. Social media is killing us right now, guys. It really is. I'm so convicted and passionate about it right now because it's wrecking people. Wrecking them.
I watched a dude mix Pepsi and milk on Instagram.
Okay.
It was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, you can curate your feed, but still stuff sneaks in. And do not recommend things for me, Instagram. Do not.
Like recommend things like what? Like
Political nonsense. Because I'll watch it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And so don't. Quit it. Anyway, gosh, we don't have a whole lot of time for this, and I had a lot. We'll kick it down the road. But what you been watching, reading, or listening to?
I'm going to shout out. I listened to a bunch of it yesterday. His new album. It's called Shortwaving. He's a local fellow who was actually at the Shrimp Boil, and he and I had a wonderful hang and talk. And his name is John Calvin Abney, and he has a record that's really, really great that I was listening to yesterday.
Hey.
So there you go.
Nice.
Yeah, watched the first two Supermen. Got caught up on that.
Yeah.
Rewatched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem yesterday.
I saw it yesterday. I stood in front of a display of clearance Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action figures.
Yeah.
And I stood in front of him for way too long, and I thought, should I get Brandon this Michelangelo action figure?
I've already got it.
But they're the new ones.
I've already got it.
No, you don't.
I stay current.
But I almost bought it for you.
Well, that's...
And brought it with the gifts. Guys, I brought Brandon a glass that says "Let's go, girls," and he's to mix all his mocktails in it henceforth.
Thought that counts, I guess. Didn't buy it. Thought that counts. Yeah, those will be mine.
Okay.
Those will be mine.
All right. I've been podcasting a lot because, as I shared with you, I'm on a painting spree. Starting yesterday, I'm painting my daughter's room,
Hate it.
furniture, baseboards, all kinds of things. So I'm just podcasting like a crazy person. Guys, I've been listening to the BBC, the podcasting network from the BBC and the Canadian broadcasting. Guys, I've listened to one called The Con, Caitlin's Baby.
Okay.
Guys, this is about a scam, and this is not a secret. But there was a woman in Canada who was scamming doulas, maybe upwards of 100 doulas. She was never pregnant, but they would come to her home and labor with her for days and days and days. No baby. It is,
But
guys.
why is that a scam on them? Did she still pay them?
No.
But
it like mentally messed with them.
But does a doula, if a doula doesn't want, do they get paid with a baby?
No, but you're helping someone in this very emotional, physically
And so she just
taxing
did it
time.
just to troll?
Yes.
I love it.
No.
I love it.
It did so much damage, and she paid the price.
Do you know
Listen,
the only thing that would make it better?
No, nothing.
Is at the very end, you go through the whole process, the whole fake labor, all the stuff, the doula's in there, the whole deal. And then at the very end, she goes, "Hey, my doula, oblong gotcha." And then she runs out the door.
Brandon, you do not. You do not. Guys, it was really terrible. It was really terrible.
Why?
A few months ago, maybe a year, I don't know, what is time? I recommended a podcast called Scamanda about a gal who faked having cancer. And it's that kind of a thing. And it's really dangerous and harmful. But anyway, this was quite the twisty story.
It's not
Caitlin's Baby.
You said she paid the price? It's a crime.
It's a crime.
It's a crime to trick
Brandon,
a doula?
there was way more involved with it, like abuse stuff. So you're going to feel bad when you...
Well, how about you don't bury the lead?
Anyway, gosh, we're running out of time here, so I'm just going to kick this stuff down the road. But guys, if you're local and would like to join us for Brandon's show on Thursday night, he's gonna put that link up somewhere. What's your warm heart?
Community.
Oh, yeah.
The show.
Yeah. Mine is kind words. After my message this weekend, people really said some affirming things. And so never underestimate how far kind words will go for people.
You're doing great.
Thanks. So are you.
Bye.
Bye.